Unit 6 Nature and Environment. 1. Tick, check, mark the correct answers. A. Which of the given organism is decomposer? I. Algae. E. Insect. IV. Lichens. E. Mushroom. B. What is the relationship made between producer and consumer on the basis of nutrition supply? I. Food web. E. Ecosystem. E. Food chain. IV. Community. C. Which type of interaction is found in lichens of tree bark? I. Mutualism. E. Commensalism. E. Parasitism. IV. Competition. D. In biotic interaction, prey sucks the food from host. What happens in this interaction? I. Only one organism is benefited. E. Both organisms are benefited. E. Both organisms are harmed. IV. Both organisms neither benefit nor harm. E. Which one is the first nutrition level? I. Green plants. E. Insects. E. Frog. IV. Snake. 2. Give reasons. A. The ecosystem is disturbed if decomposer is absent. Answer. If decomposers are missing, dead plants and animals will not break down, nutrients will not return to the soil, and the flow of energy and materials will stop, so the whole ecosystem becomes unbalanced. B. The grassland ecosystem is imbalanced if the number of primary consumer insects is increased excessively. Answer. Too many primary consumer insects eat large amounts of grass, leaving little food for other herbivores and causing the food chain of the grassland to collapse. C. In the food chain, generally the number of producers is more than consumers. Answer. Producers like green plants capture solar energy and must be more numerous to provide enough food and energy for all the animals that depend on them, so their population is always greater than that of consumers. D. In mutualism, both organisms are benefited. Answer. Mutualism is a relationship in which two different organisms live together and each gains something necessary for survival, so both partners benefit. E. The environment is fresh where ecosystem is balanced. Answer. A balanced ecosystem keeps air, water, and soil clean because every organism maintains its natural role, so the surroundings remain fresh and healthy. 3. Write differences. A. Producer and consumer. Producer make their own food using sunlight photosynthesis. Form the first level of a food chain. Consumer depend on producers or other organisms for food, found at higher levels of a food chain. B. Grassland ecosystem and pond ecosystem. Grassland ecosystem land-based, dominated by grasses. Animals include herbivores like deer and insects. Pond ecosystem water-based, with aquatic plants. Animals include fish, amphibians, and microorganisms. C. Food chain and food web. Food chain single straight pathway of energy flow, shows specific producer-consumer sequence. Food web interconnected network of food chains, shows multiple feeding relationships. D. Biotic and abiotic component. Biotic component living things like plants and animals interact with each other in the ecosystem. Abiotic component non-living things like water, air, and soil affect the growth and survival of organisms. E. Mutualism and commensalism. Mutualism both organisms benefit. Example: lichens, algae plus fungi. Commensalism one benefits, the other is unaffected. Example: epiphytic plants on trees. F. Parasitism and mutualism. Parasitism parasite benefits, host is harmed. Example: tapeworm in humans. Mutualism both organisms benefit. Example: lichens, algae plus fungi. 4. Answer these questions. A. List out the abiotic factors in ecosystem and describe each in brief. Answer. Abiotic factors are the non-living components of an ecosystem that affect the growth, survival, and reproduction of organisms. The main abiotic factors are: sunlight provides energy for photosynthesis in plants, which is the base of energy flow in an ecosystem. Water, essential for all living organisms, helps in photosynthesis, digestion, and transportation of nutrients. Air contains oxygen and carbon dioxide required for respiration and photosynthesis. Soil provides minerals and nutrients for plants and serves as habitat for many organisms. Temperature influences the metabolic rate of organisms and distribution of species. Wind helps in pollination, seed dispersal, and regulating temperature. Humidity affects transpiration in plants and survival of some animals. B. Describe the role of decomposer in ecosystem. Answer. Decomposers are organisms like bacteria and fungi that break down dead plants and animals into simple substances. They recycle nutrients back into the soil, which are then used by producers for growth. Without decomposers, waste would accumulate, nutrient cycles would stop, and the ecosystem would become unbalanced. They play a key role in maintaining ecosystem stability. C. Describe the grassland ecosystem in brief with a diagram. Answer. Grassland ecosystem is a terrestrial ecosystem dominated by grasses and small plants. It supports many herbivores like deer, rabbits, and insects, and predators like tigers, wolves, and birds of prey. The soil is fertile, and rainfall is moderate. Grasslands are found in regions with seasonal droughts and fire hazards. Diagram. D. What effect are seen when the number of frogs is increased in pond ecosystem? Explain. Answer. If the number of frogs increases in a pond ecosystem, they will eat more insects, reducing the insect population. This may lead to overgrowth of algae and aquatic plants, since insects that normally feed on plants are reduced. At the same time, predators of frogs, like snakes or birds, may benefit due to the increased food supply. Hence, any imbalance in frog population affects multiple levels of the pond ecosystem. E. The farmer works on the land and kills all of the mice that ate rice, but rice production is very less after killing the mice in his field. Why does the production of rice decrease? Describe with your illustration. Answer. Mice feed on insects and weeds that harm rice plants. When mice are killed, the number of insects may increase, leading to more damage to rice crops. Also, some mice help in soil aeration, which improves nutrient availability. Illustration. F. Describe the food chain in a pond with a figure. Answer. A pond food chain shows energy flow from producers to consumers. Example. Producers: phytoplankton and aquatic plants. Primary consumers: zooplankton, insects, small fish. Secondary consumers: bigger fish, frogs. Tertiary consumers: birds, large fish. Figure. G. In an ecosystem, the balance cycle is operated among producer, consumer, decomposer, and environment. The ecosystem is disturbed if any one component is imbalanced. Prove this statement with reason. Answer. The ecosystem depends on the interdependence of producers, consumers, and decomposers. Producers provide food, consumers eat producers, and decomposers recycle nutrients. If any component is disturbed, for example, if decomposers are removed, nutrients are not recycled, plants cannot grow properly, herbivores have less food, and carnivores are affected. This shows that imbalance in one component disrupts the entire ecosystem. H. State the types of ecological interaction. Explain each with examples. Answer. The main types of ecological interactions are: 1. Mutualism. Both organisms benefit. Example: lichens, algae plus fungi. 2. Commensalism. One organism benefits, the other is unaffected. Example: epiphytic plants on trees. 3. Parasitism. One organism benefits at the expense of the other. Example: tapeworm in humans. 4. Competition. Both organisms are harmed while competing for the same resource. Example: lions and tigers competing for prey. 5. Predation. One organism predator kills another prey for food. Example: lion eating a deer. I. Isolate the type of ecological interaction from given examples. Ands. I. Bee and bumblebee takes flowers nectar, right pointing arrow competition, both insects compete for the same resource, nectar. E. Spider makes the net in tree, right pointing arrow commensalism. The spider benefits by getting a place to catch prey, the tree is neither harmed nor benefited. E. Barn swallow makes the nest in home. Right-pointing arrow commensalism. Birds benefit from shelter, humans, home or unaffected. IV. Bed bug, flea, and mosquito that survive by sucking blood from animals. Right-pointing arrow parasitism. Parasites benefit, host animals are harmed. V. Tapeworm and roundworm lives inside the body of animals. Right-pointing arrow parasitism. Parasites live inside host and gain nutrition, harming the host. J. Study the ecosystem given in the picture and answer the following questions. And do yourself.